What's going on, world? What it do? What it do? Hey, listen, man, we're glad that you guys are tuned in to the Culturally Correct podcast, the Culturally Correct show. I am your boy, Damon Golden, and we have a guest returning, back by popular demand.
Yeah. Jimmy is in the building. What it do?
Okay, keeping it nice and sweet. Rome, last week, man, you kind of forgot what I realized. You gonna bring that back?
Your life is a double-edged sword. Every decision you make has consequences, and those consequences can lead you one way or another. So I was talking to a guy, and we were talking about how potholes are like horrendous in the city. Like they're the worst thing ever. But flip side, how we get potholes. We got to salt it. We get it from salting the roads to get the ice and the snow off of it. So one thing causes another thing. To fix one problem, you get another problem. So it's kind of like taking medication. You got high blood pressure. You take high blood pressure medicine. It makes you tired, or it makes you weak, or you take the cough medicine and give you the runs, or it's
Cough medicine give you the runs?
It was a bad example, but it's like life is a double-edged sword. You gotta have these situations that causes other situations. Like I was telling you all about my ex-wife, how if we didn't have the horrible relationship with each other after our divorce leading up, we wouldn't have had this epiphany moment where we could get along better than probably when we were in a relationship. So it's like that double-edged sword that causes this to be some agony or trouble leads to something else. So that was what I realized last week. It probably would have sounded better if I remembered it last week, because I could tell you exactly where it was coming from. But it was when I told Dame last week, he was like, yeah, that's really cool. Now it lost its dopeness this week.
No, I think it's still relevant. That's life, man. Every aspect of life. I think it applies to everything. You want this degree? Well, you got to go invest. You know what I mean? Countless hours and
time and money.
Yeah, I mean that's everything. Anything worth having is worth working for. You know what I mean? That's that same idea. So yeah, it makes perfect sense, man. For me, what I realized this week, I realized I'm done having kids. You know what I mean? That's what I realized.
You go get that thing done?
Oh, yeah, we get that thing done. Yeah, we got that thing set up. You know what I mean? Nah, talk about one time. Nah, I mean, we gonna get that thing done. And I'm done, man. I'm good. I got 3. For
real?
those of you guys who were, who have been following, you know that I've been expecting. Last week, my 3rd child, my daughter, she came into this world weighing in at 9 pounds, 13 ounces. So she's 3 ounces away from being a 10-pounder. 21 and a half inches long. Yeah, man, that's Reagan Grace Golden is her name.
Reagan, we got the name.
Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so she's here, man, and I am blessed. She spent a little bit. All of my kids spent time in the NICU. My son was the shortest. He was up there for like half a day just to get his blood sugars, you know what I mean, together. My eldest daughter was up there the longest. She was up there for like almost 2 weeks. And then Reagan, she spent probably 4 or 5 days up there. And so, anywho, just super, man, blessed, man, that you know, she's home now. She came home on Easter. And so that was pretty cool. That was pretty dope. And
that's always beautiful.
Yeah, man. Got her and mom back. Mom sent me a pic. You know what I mean? Of her feet, and she said we could finally see my ankles again. I said, hey, excelente. You know what I mean? I'm gonna love you regardless. So, but nah, man. Blessed, and I realized I'm done having kids.
You
man.
say that now. You say
Nah,
that
I think
now.
I've done what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know, when we was younger, you used to say you wanted like 7, 8 kids.
Yeah. I said a lot of things. You know what I mean? I said a whole
grew.
lot of things. Yeah. I grew and I got smarter. You know what I mean? I had one. You know what I mean? You say a lot before you had one.
Yeah.
No, I got a question because I had my oldest daughter was a preemie. She spent 6 weeks in the NICU. And so, how did that affect you having your first daughter being there 10 days? Because as a first time parent, it's like the scariest.
Oh man, it's
most
mad scary. So let me tell you that story. So when Kaylin was born, my eldest daughter, her name is Kaylin. So when Kaylin was born 5 years ago, her birthday is coming up this month. When she was born, she got stuck in the birth canal, and it was a severe shoulder dystocia. And so my wife is an MP, so she knows like all these terms that I have no idea about. But anyways, she got stuck in the birth canal, and when they finally got her out, she was not breathing. She was purple, bluish, and so they tell you that if a child is stuck in the birth canal for longer than 5 minutes, then the procedure is to try to push them back, and then push them back through the birth canal, and then do a cesarean. And normally when that happens, it's always a fatal, a situation on the other end of that. And so at the 5 minute mark, no matter what's going on, they're gonna push the baby back in there, and they're gonna do a cesarean. And
did you know that information beforehand or afterhand?
I didn't know this until afterwards.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, my wife is a medical professional, so she knows this stuff. And so I'm kind of reading. The doctors are saying stuff, and I'm looking at her face. Yeah, I'm looking at her face, trying to decipher everything. And so, anyways, they got my baby out with like I think 27 seconds to spare. They got my baby out, and then when she got out, there was, like I said, no life in her whatsoever. And so me, I'm praying. All I'm saying is Jesus. That's it. That's all I'm saying. My mother-in-law is praying. My mom is in there. So it's me, my mom, my mother-in-law, and my wife. We're the only family that was in the room. And luckily, we're all big into prayer and whatnot. And so people were praying. They end up getting some vitals. They're working on my daughter. They're doing some compressions and things of that nature. And they ended up getting a pulse. And I did not hear my daughter, cry or whatever, until the next day. So that entire night, I know they got a pulse. I know that, but we don't know what the damage is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And luckily, all the things that they anticipated that was going to be wrong, none of that stuff is, come to pass. So, we spent 11 days up there. And she came at 34 weeks. So, I know people have had babies in the 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I know that she's technically a preemie, but I think she was like 8 pounds when she came out. So she definitely wasn't the preemie.
Typical preemie.
Yes.
Ooh, so she would have been a 10-pounder too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Juju, my son, Damon Jr., we call him Juju. Young Juice. What up, Juice? He was also the 8'6", 8'7", and he was at 37 weeks as well. And so, anyways, yeah, man, it was an experience. While I was in the NICU, I met families, man, who had been there for months. And I met a guy who he was telling me, we caught the elevator together, and he was like, man, he said, man, it just sucks like paying rent somewhere else. But we're living here, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like all that stuff add up, you know what I'm saying?
Trust.
Medical coverage or not, it all adds up, you know what I mean? So, shout out to anybody who has dealt with the NICU experience, man. Shout out to all those parents and all those kids, man.
Yeah, my daughter was born. My ex-wife's water broke at 27 weeks. The doctor said, we're not going to stop it. We're not going to induce you. We just don't wait. 10 days later, 29 weeks, we were sitting in the hospital. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go back to work because expenses start back, building up.
Yeah, it's adding up.
So I was like, I'll go back to work. That's the day. Like, I got a call at like 7 in the morning, like, hey, get here. And so we were in Indy, so it took me like 25 minutes to get from Anderson to St. Vincent. So Meridian, 86 and Meridian. My daughter got here just fine. It was a instance where she pushed her out, she got her here, and I'll never forget this. They get her out, they hold her up so the mom can see her, and then shoot out the other room. Because at that point, they don't know what's anything could be wrong. So they get her to the NICU. Like an hour later, we get to go up there, and you hear just one baby just like hollering, just wailing. And I'm very thankful it was my daughter. Because, that first moments where you don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary. Because as a first parent, you see the movies, you see how, or you have this interpretation how it's supposed to go in your head.
Yeah.
And so when it happens, you're like, man, you missed that part. Like it doesn't happen. And so my daughter, she came out. Most preemies have breathing problems. That's their number one thing. Lungs not developed. She came out, was on room temperature CPAP. Room air CPAP. They only kept her to get the feedings and get all that down pat. Had to feed through a straw. I remember the first bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And so she was born 2 pounds, 14 ounces. I could literally, as long as my hand.
Wow. And she was good as far as her lungs and stuff?
Everything. She literally, smartest kid I know to this day. She is fully her age group now. Her last doctor appointment, she is fully capable 8-year-old. Like,
wow.
No issues. Never no issue. She has these nosebleeds that they can't trace, or she had 2 sutras, where they go in and burn the lining in her nose to try to thicken it and harden it.
Yeah.
She had 1 on each side done, and she still has these nosebleeds. Don't know what causes them. Testing her for blood disorders, no blood disorders. She just has these random nosebleeds. Like, she has them at school. School freaks out every time. She had them so often. She's a cool, calm customer.
Yeah.
Give me some cold water. Like, give me a towel. She'll stop it. But that's the only issue she has had. No asthma. No.
Wow.
That was my preemie story. So trust me, I understand the nervousness of having preemies and NICUs, and I don't like hospitals in general.
I'm with you. I don't even like the smell. I don't like hospitals, and I don't like old folk homes. Is that wrong? That's not PC, is it?
No, it's
I don't
fine.
like. What do you call them? If
Nursing
you don't call
homes.
them, nursing homes. There you go.
Assisted living.
Assisted living.
Assisted living.
Hey, so speaking of babies, Jimmy, you expected?
Well, since you want to bring it up, actually, I am not.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
I am actually trying to steer away from that.
What would you like if you had to go tell mom, like, yo, I got one on the way?
Dude, that's probably all right. So I have like 3 top fears.
3 top.
That's number 1.
Having to tell mom you got one.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Like you almost gotta go in there like happy, like, you know what I'm saying, like not even like somber or sad about it. Like, hey mom, I did it. You know what I mean? Just see what she do. You know what I mean? I would date her, tell her in a joking way, and then like 9 months later, be like, yo, you need to get to the hospital, like, because if you tell her in a joking way, like, she not gonna believe you, so she go, you know what I mean? That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, man, that's not fear number 1. And the next fear is going to prison. So you can see
wow,
scared I am.
Yeah. That's
You're more scared of your mom than you are of prison.
Oh, always.
What you realize this week, man?
Man, what I've realized this week is you do not have to learn something by going through it yourself. You can learn from other people's experiences.
Bang! So experience is not the best teacher.
No, definitely not. No. For people to say that, depending on the situation, you might be one
I want to know the situation.
The
Like, I want to know how you learned this week from somebody else's experience. Like that.
No, it's just like a little, little epiphany I had, man.
So you're not expecting?
No, I'm not
Okay.
expecting. Nah. Currently, I'm employed at this job, man. I don't really want to put it out there where I'm at, but
Please don't.
yeah. I'm at this job, man, and literally probably 90% of my coworkers are either felons or addicts. You know what I mean? So if they're probably twice my age, you know what I mean? And they're working this job, and to them, we're making good money, and they're finally doing good for themselves, and it's kind of like, man,
This is good.
right. If this is good, then great can't be too great. You know what I mean? But no, it's just kind of like I can kind of sit back and just observe them and just listen to the types of things they tell me that they've been through in life, and just kind of realize
no.
exactly. You know what I mean? I don't have to dabble in the things I dabbled in to know that this is where I'll end up. You know what I mean?
I've always said experience is not the best teacher, but it may be the most effective. You know what I mean? As far as like, I believe that it would be hard to read a book to learn how to swim, but is it possible that it could be done? Yeah, like, right, but there's nothing like getting in the water
and almost drowning.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I can read about.
I feel that, but in the same token, it's like if I got my mom telling me, "Hey, you probably don't want to go live in this certain area because you're gonna be paying way too much, and you're not making enough to live the comfortable lifestyle you want to live if you go and live in a certain area," and then I say, "Nah, I'm gonna go live in a certain area because that's what I want to do." Then I move in that certain area and I'd be flat broke. I didn't have to go and live in that area to know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain situations where if somebody is trying to give you game, you got to listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it also makes you consider the source. So if you're working with felons, you're working with, people who are, twice your age, and they are literally counting the same check that you're counting, and they are like that's a good source to, like a source of that's a good example to say, I'm not gonna do what they did because obviously it's proof. You're the living proof that probably wasn't the greatest decision.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna go that route. I'm not taking the financial advice from somebody who is where I'm at financially. Like, I want to try to take financial advice from somebody who is where I want to be.
Exactly.
Same thing with relationships. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't have your single friend tell you.
Oh yeah. You just can't. Let me ask you this: do you, as a married man, have you noticed? Do you do less kicking it with your single buddies?
Oh yeah, me and you have had this conversation. Me and my wife try to find married friends, like couples. Like, we want people in relationships to hang out with together. And it's a hard piece of the puzzle that I think a lot of married people struggle with. But I think I hang out less, but I think sometimes it's good for that benefit. Because sometimes you can have your single guy friend, like the experience thing.
Yeah.
You see what they go through in their world, and you're like, yeah, maybe it's not bad.
But I think it's important for people in your position to keep those single friends around. So, because like for me, it's like I want to get to where y'all at. So it's kind of like, don't push me off. I understand why you don't want me around all the time, but don't push me off completely. All right?
Yeah, no. I think, but that goes with maturity and like understanding the difference. Like, there's certain single friends, man, I love them, like, but I can't spend a lot of time with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you don't have. It's not that you want me to fail at my relationship, but you ain't concerned about my success either
Exactly.
in my relationship.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you're not concerned about my success, I'm probably not about to be spending too much time around you. Now, if you're somebody who is concerned about my success and you are single, then I'm cool with kicking it with you. You know what I mean? But the other people, and I'm my expectation is not for my single friends to be overly concerned about the success in my, you know what I mean, relationship. It's my responsibility to know, like, okay, listen, I probably can't kick it with this person as much as I used to.
Yeah, my circles is just really small. They're really, really small. It's not enough time in a day for me to have like too many close friends. So I think.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Yeah, so you say your circle's small?
My-
Oh man.
Oh, yeah,
Shout
my
out.
circle is very small.
Somebody might think that was a shot. No, they might. They might. I mean, you might have people who are your associates listening to this episode and be like, "Oh, that's probably why he." Oh,
No,
that's why.
I'm just busy. Like I'm
Oh, you
working.
too busy for me?
Hey,
Oh, you what?
I got
you.
4 kids.
I mean, I
a
got
wife.
kids. I mean, you just too busy for me. Like we used to. Somebody might take it that way, bro. Like you never know.
If you were part of that circle, you wouldn't take it that way.
Oh, what if it's somebody that wants to be a part of that circle and then they're listening and they're like, "Dang."
So if you took it that way, you might not want to take it that way to get part of that circle. I mean, because if we're on the same level, because most of your friends are, one, it's a person that you're either pulling up to success or they're pulling you up to success. Many of my friends are not, I want to say, equally level with me. It's never that balance. I don't ever be like, hey, we the same type of, but either I got friends who are uplifting me or I got somebody like I'm uplifting them.
Yeah.
And so if we're doing one of the things, we already had these conversations about what's going on in our lives. Like one guy I call when I'm having any troubles or advice that's not like my dad, I understand he's not always available. And because he has the same things going on, he's a married man. He runs his own business. He he's the deacon at the church. He's all these things. So I understand he'll get back with me when he has time.
Yeah.
I don't have to say he's not part of my circle when I know I can count on him when I really need it. So
Yeah. Hey, one thing I have realized though about like married people, man, is this like y'all change a little bit when y'all get married, man. Like
You got to.
Like for real.
what's the change?
I mean, y'all, it's always something going on. You know what I mean? Like, y'all talking about, well, ain't enough time in the day. No, it's enough time in the day. Y'all don't make time.
Yeah,
it's prioritizing.
Yeah, and like it's a difference between being married and then being married with kids. It's just different, bro. Like I got friends who are just married. They ain't got no kids. They dang near got almost the same level of freedom as my single buddies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when you're married with kids, bro.
And I say multiple kids too.
Yeah, yes, fact.
And I have the it sounds
you experience
horrible.
both a little bit, kind of.
I do, and simultaneously, like everybody knows, if you haven't listened, I have 4 kids. I have 3 from a previous marriage and 1 with my current marriage.
Oh, you don't have 4 different baby mamas?
Nope.
Nah.
You
wasn't that lucky?
Yeah.
Nothing I know of.
Anybody over like 10, you say, hey, I've been looking for you. I might say yeah.
Check the nose.
Not denying though. Because at this point, they gotta be like light skinned. I can't get a dark skinned baby. Man, I forgot where I was going with it.
That's all right. It happens to the best of us, man. It does. It sure does. Hey, listen. So check this out. Scrolling through Facebook, ran across this video of a very intellectual black woman, very smart. I mean, she sounded that way. At least on this particular topic, she sounded like she was, you know what I mean, a learned individual. But she was speaking on the topic of racial ambiguity, and specifically, she was referring to Bruno Mars, and she alluded to this idea that Bruno was doing like this Elvis type thing, where he was, appropriating the culture, black culture, doing this Four Horsemen thing. What's that reference? When I say Four Horsemen, nobody knows that reference.
It eluded me at this moment.
That's fine. You guys ever remember the movie The Five Heartbeats?
Mm-hmm.
Their first record deal.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ain't
Four
got
Horsemen.
no money. Yeah.
Ain't got no money. Jack.
You know, when you said Four Horsemen, I just thought of like Ric Flair now.
Oh,
like,
okay.
see that instantly.
He looked like him, though.
Yeah.
But anyways, she was basically alluding to the fact or insinuating that Bruno Mars, robs black culture, and
to benefit
to for his benefit. And I wanted to get your opinions on that. And then she later in the video said that people in general like their black culture from people who don't look black,
from non-black,
from non-black people,
because he can look a little.
Is he black? What's his ethnicity?
That's
Do you
what
know?
I need to know that before I make a comment. So
I
always
think he's
thought.
Filipino. He's that type of.
Wikipedia knows.
That's Wikipedia.
Let's figure it out.
Is that a reliable source name?
I mean, I guess we can go to like Billboard too.
Or go to Nope. I was about to say IMBD. That's
Don't worry
movies.
about it. What do you guys think he is?
Filipino. I think that's what I heard. He's mixed with Filipino and I want to say
I think
white.
he's Mexican.
Rican.
himself.
He Puerto Rican.
Let's see here.
What they got?
Let's see what they got. I'm going to. This is biography.com.
I'll take that over Wiki.
He's from Hawaii, obviously. See, I don't know if they're gonna say his ethnicity. Born to Peter Hernandez.
Rican.
Rican? No, bro. So his father was a part of a Latin band, actually.
So he's Latino.
So let me go back. I'm just gonna type in
Bruno Mars ethnicity.
ethnicity, because I think we need to know this.
Before we get on this topic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it only makes sense. Let's see here. To a father of Puerto Rican. Okay, so it says
Puerto Rican.
yeah, his father's Puerto Rican,
Rican.
and his mother is from the Philippines.
So we was
Okay.
there.
Who's
So his father's Puerto Rican, his mother's from the Philippines.
Rican?
And so, the question is, I mean, with that knowledge, there's not an immediate African presence. You know what I'm saying? And this particular young lady on this video was talking about the fact that he is profiting off of African American culture, African American music. Do you guys agree that he is, the Elvis of,
Our time.
Of our time?
I disagree. I think his third album in? Third or fourth?
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know exactly. But all his records before this 24K album were really popish. And I think his success was built on being pop. I don't know him personally, but I think that he had so much success now he can make music he wants to make. And if these guys like Zapp and all those guys influenced him, he want to make music like them. Because he was really popish. The Way You Are, Runaway Baby, If I Was Your Man, that was still popish, but a little more R&B. Grenade. So I think that he did 2 to 3 albums that were fully popish, got his success, got more of a buy-in from people saying, "Hey, this is the type of music I want to make," And I think that his song before this, what was the song? Before 24 Karat, the real smooth one.
Oh, that wasn't him though.
It wasn't him, but he was on the track. It was produced by
Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk. That it was produced by somebody else, and I think that gave him like the hey, this is what I like.
This is a nice lane to be in.
And
right
so I think that's where it comes from. He's not Robin Thicke, who him and Pharrell just lost that lawsuit.
They gotta pay.
They gotta pay.
Are you serious?
They gotta pay
just
for Blurred Lines.
No, Blurred Lines. They said that it was Marvin Gaye's Gotta Get Up or something like
Gotta
that.
Get Up or Gotta Get Up.
I wanna go out and party.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, they lost that. The Gaye estate, Marvin Gaye's estate, his family and whatnot.
Either they gotta pay or give them. It's don't be pay. They probably going for royalties. They don't make him put his. Hey, this is one of them lines in there as a contributor, and they get royalties off of it or something.
That makes sense.
They lost the suit. I know for a fact they lost the suit.
So, Jimmy, man, what you think, man? Is Bruno on this Elvis tip? And I don't know, you younger.
Is he taking the culture?
You may not know, but Elvis was a thief.
So you're asking me, is Bruno jacking the culture?
Is he jacking the culture
and getting paid for it?
And you getting paid for it?
So
what he's presenting is not him.
What I can say, because I feel like who hasn't done that? You know what I mean? Like who's not African American or immediately in that culture that's come up through the ranks. Besides, like the pop people, the country people, even them. Like even that whole
country is
actually stemmed from black culture.
Blues.
Like literally, like who do you like? You can't name any person that's come up through the ranks without jacking something from black culture. Black culture is music. You know what I mean? Like we've created music.
And that I hate to cut you off, but it makes it goes right into what I was going to say. I remember there was an interview Bruno did. He was touring Hawaii, like showing whomever the interviewer was, where he grew up and whatnot. And one of the lines, and I'll never forget it, this was like 3 years ago, he said, all American music is black music.
I agree.
Like he legit said, this is like way before the 24 Karat album. So for me, for somebody to say that, I mean, Elvis ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So he gave credit where credit, was due. Also, this video that I'm referring to with this young lady, it came in the wake of him winning the album of the year
at the
Grammy, right? But when he accepted that award, he shouted out everybody that inspired him. And a woman made a great point. She was saying that he's nothing more than a karaoke singer,
a reboot.
He just remixed it. He was remixed, but she said that she said that it works for this album, but like to your point, it doesn't work for the other albums.
The previous,
like I mean, he didn't get his name off of doing remakes. Like he got his name off of killing the pop scene. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I have to disagree with her. Is that
I think she just might have used the wrong verbiage. I don't think it's racial ambiguity. I think
say that again.
Nope. No. She
just one more time.
No.
Okay, all right.
No. I think.
What are we talking about?
Bruno Mars and the. So I think she makes a good point. I just think she used the wrong term to make her point. I think white people like black music from non-blacks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that was her point.
Yeah.
But she used the wrong terminology to describe it.
Do you think that's still true, like, for this current generation? Like, what you just said?
The masses, yes. I can't, like...
Hey, listen, not for nothing. Hey, yo, I know a lot of white people that, like, rock with Kim heavy, though. Kim, the soul singer, he's super dark. Really dark.
I know he's.
Oh yeah, no, he's black. Though.
He's like Seal
no, he's
2.0.
He's black tar baby. Like he's.
I don't think
That's not right. I shouldn't say that.
You need to apologize.
I'm sorry, I'm Kim.
That's worse.
Come
than
on the
my
show, Kim.
Tar
Come on,
baby.
man. Yeah, tar baby's bad. Like, but I'm black, so I can say it. You know what I mean? It's like when you family. You know what I mean? When you family, there's certain things you can say to family that you don't accept from people who not family.
That's true.
Kim, we're family, bro. Like legit. Like if. But anyways, I just want to throw that out there. That.
But his success is not that. Like they might rock with him, but his success is not as big as a Bruno or let's say somebody in his realm, a NDRE or I mean, like people rock with him, but he's not as huge.
No, I feel you. I just want to throw it out there that Love
like
Calls is a great. You know what I mean? Great record.
It's a wonderful record.
Great record. But yeah, man, I think that I agree that it receiving black culture or black people period is more palatable to white people if it comes from a light-skinned individual. I think that's just facts. Like they come off as less threatening, less aggressive. For instance,
hold on, B.
The light skin had to
not
speak
gonna
up.
do, B? Cause I still get down, B. Kevin Gates is tough, bro. I don't want to hear none of that. All right, Kevin's holding it down for the light skins.
What's the like most dark skinned rapper you can think of?
Currently,
Yeah.
Kodak Black.
Kodak is definitely black.
Kodak Black, and listen, just for all white people listen, Kodak Black is scary to black people. He's not just scary to y'all, like he's scary to black people. But here's my question. You flip it, right? And Kodak made all the songs that Drake ever made. Is he as successful?
No.
Lil Yachty. He makes every single song the exact same way that Drake has ever made them, but it's in Lil Yachty. I woke up in Yachty's body. It's in Yachty's body. That black skin, super dark skin. Is he as successful? Highline thing. That can only mean one thing.
I feel like
it plays, man.
I feel like it's somebody.
It does, bro. Like, listen, Jimmy's light skinned, so he's kind of like offended by this whole. But y'all get points, bro. Like, y'all get points, bro.
No, we don't.
Y'all do, bro.
Y'all do.
We gotta fight for everything we got.
Okay,
bro.
I'm gonna give you how you get points.
Y'all get points,
and
bro.
Yo, we gotta fight for
I love
everything
all
we
women,
got.
but I'm about to make this point. I love all women. I do. Light-skinned girls get a couple more tag cute points. They get it for some reason. I have seen a light-skinned girl, dark-skinned girl. I love dark women. And I always used to be single. I used to be.
Talk to me, wrong. Talk to
Listen,
me.
I gotta give you the example.
Forget
being PC. Talk to me.
Whatever somebody do to stop and go when they talk, that's how they trying to catch themselves. He said, no, I used to. I think. Hey, whenever somebody does it, they about to say some stuff, they can get them in trouble, but they just trying to catch themselves.
Everybody say how they really feel in life.
So whatever they say after that is not really what they wanted to say.
Exactly.
Like, it's filtered. Like, because really, I mean, all right. What
You are
say?
correct. Okay. So when I was a young single guy, I used to go to the club. I always had this thing for dark women. It's just my cup of tea. What I'd go for. It's my thing.
Can we put a bookmark in that? Where do you think it stemmed from? Like honestly, like was that your mom's dark skin?
Nope.
She's not.
My mom's light skin.
Okay.
Very.
You got any aunts that are?
All my aunts are. I want to say they will be considered dark skin.
There's a Freudian thing. Freud said that we are attracted to mothers, but I mean, I'm pretty sure aunts played a motherly figure.
Yeah.
But if you had to pinpoint it, where do you think that attraction stemmed from?
Literally no clue.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know.
Sorry. Okay. Fast forward.
Fast forward. Go out with my homeboys. Light skins always get to play with them. I never had to fight with one of my homeboys over who's don't talk to such and such in the club because I always like dark skins. They like light skins. It's always a couple in the group. We never had to bump heads. Oh no, it's my turn. Nothing. Dark skin, beautiful, physically beautiful. Light skin, she's kind of, whatever the case may be. Just some misproportions on her face for me to say. And they'll run to her before the dark skin, even though the dark skin is like flawless. No blemishes, no anything. Light skins get like a couple extra points for no reason, just for being light skinned.
Yeah, I do, bro.
Just in every
You
category.
talking about light skinned women. You ain't talking about light skinned men. All right.
Light skinned dudes do too, man. Y'all get that. Y'all get that. He's just so sensitive.
All right.
man.
So here's the thing. All right. I'll break it down for you. And this is
All
what
right, Professor Jimmy.
this is what the women have relayed to me.
Okay. Oh, this is what they told you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you had a whole little meeting.
You had a light skin meeting.
Light Skin Coalition of America. I just want to say,
No, man, we just we better looking is what it is.
oh, well, damn.
It has nothing to do with skin complexion, bro. It's just
So
But
you just said light.
the only difference is skin complexion.
no, it's like we just built physically better. That's all.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
Yeah.
Light skins. Light skins.
Y'all a little bit rougher looking.
Listen, bro.
Know what I mean?
But what is it because of our skin complexion?
No, it's y'all just. It's I don't know what it is. It's DNA wise, y'all just not as
This is what I do know.
as smooth as we are.
I'm not checking for any person who, you know what I mean, who's a male. That's just not what I'm into. But I have been listening to the women, and Idris Elba has like been popping in these streets, bro.
It's always Denzel not light skin. At one point, Wesley was on their scope, and that he's dark. He's that
Wesley is like dark chocolate, like good for you chocolate.
like fresh out the plant cocoa. So
All coffee.
I'm
no
saying
cream.
you do a side by side of Wesley and Chris, and you see which one go first.
Chris,
Brown.
Thank you,
huh?
Chris Breezy.
Chris Brown.
Chris Breezy.
Yeah, but he light skinned with dark skin tendencies though. That's bad. I should have said that. I'm feeding into the stereotype. Y'all see, Prison Bay. He just married a billionaire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
He
got
no,
pregnant.
no, yeah, he married her. No, did he marry her? Either way, he got her pregnant. That's the new lose.
listen.
He in that thing.
Now if he
Sound
didn't
like he was already in
sign,
that
here's
thing.
a great question. So here's a man. He marries a billionaire, gets her pregnant. If they divorce, does he get half?
If he ain't signed no
I'm saying like yeah. So no prenuptial or anything was signed. But even then, though, I think
You could get spousal
you
support.
can get spousal.
You not entitled to any of that money, but you could get spousal support. Say he didn't work or whatever the case may be. He has this lifestyle he has to maintain off of her now.
Do you see a court giving him aid? Obviously, he's not a billionaire.
What they will do is tear him down so quickly because he's a felon. The first thing, he's a black felon married to a white billionaire. The first thing they'll say,
Listen, you're not
should told me that he ain't getting no support.
like,
We'll actually just send you back where we got you from, buddy. You're gonna go back to jail. All right, so back to Bruno, man. I do not feel that he is a culture vulture, as some would like to say. I will say this though, I'm completely in lockstep with this young lady when she says that he should not have won Album of the Year. And the reason why he should not have won Album of the Year, I completely agree with her in this. She was basically making the point that what he presented wasn't an original. Like, he readily admitted, and he'll tell you, like, listen, I went back and I studied these individuals from the 90s and I recreated what they already did. And so with that information, I'm saying that as an artist, I'm not impressed because you didn't create an original, and you go back and you look at the albums that came out, you know what I mean, last year, 444.
I'm gonna say this: 444. This is what I would say. They had out of what? How many tracks was it on 444? 14.
I thought it was 10. No.
11 maybe.
Either way, they were all samples.
Yeah, but they sound nothing like the originals.
But when you sample, you recreate.
It's not true.
Listen, bro, I was just at remember I told you I went to that R&B only situation.
I missed the R&B only. I shouted it out, said I'll do something
Sure
for
did.
it, and I missed it.
And so also hopefully at this this all black affair we can get, you know, the DJ to do this. But I think he played. So the just R&B only thing was a situation where DJ came and played nothing but like the greatest R&B records, and so it was dope because they were going back from the 80s, you know, 80s, 90s, but there was a point where he was mixing, or she was mixing. I think it was a female DJ at the time. She was mixing a Bruno record. Excuse me, sorry about that. She was mixing a Bruno record with a Belle Biv DeVoe type situation, and the blend was so flawless, bro. It was so flawless because it was damn near the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was legit the same thing. And Bruno told you, like, listen, these are the people that, you know what I'm saying? These are the architects. I almost feel like he used that term. These are the architects, and you know what I mean? I went and I studied what they did, and I went and I recreated it. So there's a difference between sampling and tracing.
But not one.
Sampling is, this is what sampling is. I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off. Sampling is, you remember the projects that you had to do where you went and the teacher gave you all these magazines and you're supposed to create a little health,
collage
board. Yeah, that's sampling. Okay, what Bruno did was he took an original, he put
a white piece of paper
over that, and he traced it. But there's a difference.
Because you got to be creative when you put that poster board together. Hey, you add your own colors, your own font. You know what I'm saying?
But not. He recreated the style. Not one of his songs you be like, oh, that's Belle Biv DeVoe's beat. Not what?
No. I wouldn't say it's in the exact beat, but like the snares that he used are the same. The stabs that he used. You know what I mean, I'm getting like really technical as far as music goes, but I'm a music lover. Those were the same. You know what I mean?
It gave you that feel. That's how you get that feel. I'm with you, but that's how you get that feel.
I must want you. That's the same thing as got me dripping and finesse. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Like, yo, like
with you.
He traced it. He traced it, add new colors. He traced the Mickey Mouse
Point for Damon.
Put Mickey in a whole new outfit. That's all it was. So I don't believe. Do I think it was great? It was great. I don't believe he should have won Album of the Year.
Who should have won it, Dame?
He shouldn't have won Album of the Year based on the fact that it wasn't original. Do you have a problem with that?
Who should have won it?
In my personal opinion, I mean, there's a few albums out there that could have got it. You know what I mean?
If you were a voter, who would have you voted for?
I would have voted for 444. And I will admit that I do have a bias in the fact that it's Jay-Z. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. But then also, too, I'm also cognizant of the fact that in hip-hop, especially, we do a horrible job at celebrating our legends. We do a horrible job at that. Like, we always say it's a young man's sport, a young man's game, and we always, like, looking for the next young thing. Jay-Z is, like, 50. That man's like 50 years old, and he's dropping relative content. And he's not forcing it in the sense that, like, he doesn't have 21 Savage, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Featured on the joint. He doesn't have, you know what I mean? Whoever Migos on the hook. Like, he doesn't.
It's relevant and it like it represents stuff that he's going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a 50-year-old man, you talking about equity and all these other different things going on.
Makes you think. It was challenging. I feel like, didn't you say that you enjoyed
I love 444.
some of the challenges that were presented?
It stemmed my outlook to have this podcast going.
Oh, okay.
It brought this to light. So if I had
Ladies
to vote,
and gentlemen, that's the champ speaking. The undisputed.
So, I think Bruno
Undefeated.
transcended generations.
Heavyweight champion of the world.
Rome.
I have no clue what these guys are talking about. I'm steering clear of any nonsense or buffoonery today.
Yeah, man. So that's just my thing.
I just think Bruno transcended. He spoke to many generations. Young people are rocking with Bruno. Older people definitely rocking with Bruno.
Agree.
Jay-Z,
But did he trace it?
he could have traced it. Your definition of a trace, he is exactly right. But I think Jay-Z loved it. I would have probably voted for Jay-Z because it spoke to me. It was what my life was about. But a lot of people didn't rock with it because it wasn't.
SZA's album was amazing too.
I love SZA's album. I think she didn't win because she lost the women base. They went down with the Weeknd thing.
The Weeknd, I didn't like that.
They didn't like.
But it's true.
It happens.
It's so true. Hey, speaking of which, I know this is not on the docket.
Here we go.
Oh, DJ Envy?
We're good.
Well,
Have you ever been a side piece?
As a man,
As a man, have you ever been a side piece? Ooh.
not to my knowledge,
not to
but low key, I would not mind it.
What?
Low key,
Seriously?
as a 21-year-old male that loves his freedom. Hey, that's just perfect. That's perfect. I don't have to deal with you.
Let me ask you this: Would you like? Do you think you would be good at playing your role as a side piece?
I would be perfect because I don't want to talk to you every day. Like, we only gotta talk when we gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that.
No dates, bro.
Bro, I will save so much money. You know what I mean?
Rome is holding something. Hey, Rome got one.
Rome got a story.
He got one of those. Well, I was going. Okay.
The stop and go.
Stop and go by Rome.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Would you mind today? Would you?
Me?
in your previous life.
Well, have you ever?
Yeah, I was actually.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Look, he even got the hand scratch.
Hey,
I didn't scratch my hand. What?
Break it down. Break it down.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. It was this young lady, man, in college. I was an RA. So, being an RA was pretty cool in college because I got my own room. And so, yeah, man, I got my own room, and it was awesome. I had freedom. I was always at the desk, and so, people see me. I was also president of the Black Student Union or Black Student Association. I think it was called BSA. I can't remember. Long story short, it was this chick. She was an upperclassman. She was digging me, and I thought she was cool, very smart, very intelligent. She was actually planning to study. She was planning to study law, and she really wanted to be. She was in a relationship with this dude who was in a fraternity. I didn't mess with fraternities. Reason why I didn't mess with fraternities, and I'm not knocking dudes who do. I think it's great, whatever. But at the time, this is my 18, 19-year-old mind. At the time, I thought to myself, dudes who, and maybe it was just the guys I was on campus with. I just felt like if you felt like you needed a fraternity, that was kind of like a sign of weakness to me. Like I don't need like other dudes to validate who I am. You know what I'm saying?
So you're pretty much an alpha male. Do what you want.
Yeah,
you move
man.
to
Like,
your
yeah.
groove.
So, and but now as an adult, I recognize that brotherhood is great. Whatever. Like, you know, it's probably immature in my thinking, but at that time, that's how I thought. She was dating a dude who was a part of that, and she kind of liked your boy. You know what I'm saying? And she was cute. She wasn't, I'm going to pursue you material. She was just like, you know, I'm cool kicking it with you from time to time. But I felt like I could tell she wanted to get out of the situation she was in with this dude who was a part of his fraternity. And one of the signs, and it scared me like a mug, one of the telltale signs that she was ready to get out. She'd come over to the room, you know, we would do stuff, and it was almost like...
What type of stuff?
You know, we watched a couple movies, you know what I'm saying?
Netflix and chill.
Before Netflix and chill, too.
Yeah, this is way before Netflix.
It was burnt DVD and chill.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying?
You got hooked up with Rome, huh?
My hands got foreign. They started roaming, rushing. You know what I'm saying? You know, things of that nature. Oh yeah, it's a bar.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's a bar.
I peeped it.
Yeah,
I peeped it.
And so, anyways, man, we were kicking it heavy, and this threw me off, bro. I think I was like, she came over one day, and I was online. I was looking at something on drjs.com. They used to be like one of my favorite websites to order, you know, clothes and stuff like that. I was looking at this LRG jacket. I love that jacket. You probably remember. It was like the Easter like color, like it was like very.
Ooh, yeah,
remember
yeah.
that? It like a North
pink,
Face,
blue, yeah.
but it was like pinkish purple and like a light blue. It was a dope jacket. Man, she ended up. I was just looking at it. I was like, yo, I really want that. Whatever. A couple weeks later, that thing showed up at my dorm. She paid for it. I was like, oh. I said, oh, this is not good. I've heard stories, and so. I remember it was like $70. It was a $70 jacket, bro. I'm in college. $70 jacket. I said, okay, I peep game. She's trying to buy her way in. I'm not having it.
You get a jacket back. I seen you wear it multiple times.
Yeah, no, I kept the jacket. But she smooth, got a nice little 80 piece for me. I'm like, listen, here. Check that. Here's this $80. I don't, you know, shipping and handling, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. None of that. You know what I mean? And so that's my side piece story. Like, I was on the side, but I think she wanted to make it, and she wanted me to take the initiative and be like, yo, I'm gonna make you mine. Like, and I wasn't feeling it at the time. I was good.
You were playing your role. You was good with your role.
I was good with my role. I may have played my role too good.
You was okay being the backup point. You was okay coming off the bench.
I was coming off the bench. But Rome, you have a story. I know you have a story.
I have multiple stories.
Okay, well, give us. Don't give us the best one. Just give us
No. That's rough. Yeah, they rough.
Rome, what was she like?
A whole married woman.
Okay. All right.
Tell me wrong, big bro.
That's like for real side piece. Like that's like we legit. Like it's probably not even healthy for us to talk every day.
No, like we can't talk every day. Like,
literally,
it's in the bylaws.
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract.
Like,
we cannot talk every day.
This is what I'll say. I know you were like excited. You were like, oh,
hell no, Ron. We want to go to the beginning. How did this start?
Like any side piece, side relationship starts as like work every time. You never get like somebody's side. You spend so much time at work with your coworkers. That's how it typically happens. Worked with her, talking. I don't know how we exchanged numbers. Couldn't tell you. And
Were you a boss?
No.
Okay.
Employee. This is like 2021, like many moons ago.
Perfect situation.
But you think it's perfect. It's not as dandy.
Talk to me.
So
he's married. He's good. Give me game.
So you always just play your role. They want to talk, you talk. They want to meet up, you meet up. The tail end of it is when they want to meet up, they want to meet up. You got to be available. And if you don't want to be available, that's when your problems come in hand. You have like whole girlfriend problems at that point. But like, dang, she wanted to be. I wouldn't say she even wanted to be. She nourished me like she was buying my secretive. Like Christmas, a whole. I want to say so. iPods was happening then, like stuff like that. Bought me a whole Samsung MP3 player, like whole touch screen, like the phone.
Well, damn.
like 20 gig hard drive, Android, Samsung.
So what year
player.
is this? Because when 20 gigs was like worth something. Like
I told you 21, so 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
You right.
See, back then, you know, my music catalog, I needed 20 gigs.
On them CDs.
But no, it was that whole Mary. He was like she only worked to work. He was like some drug dealer type dude. Wasn't around, always moving around. She just needed some
He
consistency.
probably was cheating too.
So why do you think she sought after like that attention?
Because she wasn't getting it. Like any.
Okay, so you think that he wasn't?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm single and we're talking like we go together.
All right, so here's the serious part of this whole conversation is I don't know if
you had a situation. Jimmy had a situation. Jimmy actually has multiple situations. Is it or is it not true that multiple women who are older than you at your workplace have sent messages?
The Cougars?
See, when they addicts and felons, you can't call them cougars. You gotta call them what it is.
They Cougars.
They're not cougars. They're just cats. Stray alley cats. These stray cats.
They not Cougars. They Bobcats.
Yeah, I had one tried to give me with the okie doke. Can you give me a ride home?
Oh yeah, them the Cougars you don't want. If they need rides home, hey, but they'll teach you some things. Golf ball through a water hose.
All right, well, listen, guys.
We got the name of the podcast. No, but seriously though, here's the thing. Here's what's serious about it.
No, I was literally about to wrap this thing up. Like,
oh man!
just in case you didn't know, we moved locations.
The basement. Could you? I mean, being a side guy, you would obviously know that you're sharing what you're getting. And for me, it's like I don't really want to share what I'm getting.
Yeah,
it's the fact that you know.
Stop. It goes back to the what I realized. What'd you say?
The double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword.
Okay.
So I don't have to talk to you every day. I don't have to do all the little minimal things.
Feet done.
Yeah, but the other side of that is I'm kind of sharing you.
Same thing you doing to me. You doing it.
Or maybe not the same things, but I'm sharing you. So there's that yin and that yang that you were talking about, and the what I realized is like, okay, you know, I'm able to enjoy, and you know what,
and it really it's your intentions too as the side. If you want to be the star, I think you're more okay with the part because I'm getting my shot in the game. I'ma shine.
Hey.
Yeah.
Now if you just there because you like, hey, it's fun.
Hey, Rome, y'all can't see this, but Rome is shot. Rome is shot like 7 jump shots. Why he's been describing
with the dirt and whiskey shit.
Why?
Every time he say shot, brick.
This dude has the prettiest form I've ever seen. He's been like shooting this air jumper every single time he said shot.
Oh man,
I have the purest jumper. It's pure.
But here let me bring it home though, because back to what you were saying with the whole yin and the yang in the beginning when you were talking about, you know, what you realized. That's where a lot of people mess up when it comes to not being faithful and cheating on their spouse. It's like, I'm going to give up. Like, I see something that I really, really want. But, and in my mind at the moment, I want this thing with 100% of me. But I'm giving up. I'm risking so much goodness to get this moment of
temporary.
Yeah, this temporary moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm risking so much to get this. Would you guys say that that's like if you're in a healthy relationship, if you're in a good relationship, would you say that is essentially what guys, what men and women, I mean women do it too, obviously. Rome was a side piece, so would you say that's what women are doing, or men are doing, is risking, you know, this good, you know, I guess 80% for the 20% that they're kind of like missing out on?
Yeah, so quick little story. I got a buddy of mine who was messing with this chick, and she was in a relationship with this guy for like years. So much to the point where they're not married, but they've went and built a house together. They've got a like, you know, she moved her little brother in, and you know they got.
They're not married.
Not married.
Okay.
I think they're working their way towards that or whatever.
Is it a friend of yours?
Friend of mine, and she goes and tells this individual that she has had dealings with, that she wants to be with this person, be with him, but at the same time, she would be leaving everything that she's worked so hard to build, as far as the home, the whole family thing, the
not
main
husband,
guy, not husband, but not husband, being the whole financial support. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I think people definitely realize what they're risking, but some people just crazy enough to take that risk. I'm not taking the risk.
I would like to say this. I would like to believe that me being who I am today, I would not risk the relationship that I have with my wife and the sanctuary that we've built, you know, between us and our 3 kids. You know, I pray to God that I never feel like I could ever put that in jeopardy. I realize I'm a human. I'll just be transparent for a second. Like, I'm a sucker for heels. I love heels. And see, this is we're gonna wrap it up after this. We had a whole bunch of stuff we were supposed to get to. We're not gonna get to those things because you know our time is drawing to an end. But lots of times when that moment of infidelity, or you know that moment of, you know, cheating arises, it's usually somebody who offers you something that maybe the person you're with doesn't offer. That's normally that is the allure. In some way, shape, or form, this person is offering something that you want, but you don't get normally. So, just a small example. I'm a sucker for heels.
I'm starting to think you got a whole foot fetish.
I might, bro. Like,
because you're a sneakerhead too, with a thing for heels.
Yeah, and my
and then
wife
I seen
will
you glimmering at your eye a couple weeks ago when you was talking about toes.
Yep, you seen that, and then I started this thing off with my wife telling me that she can see her ankles, and so, but my wife will also tell you too that when I was single, one of the things that I checked out, ladies, this is just ladies and fellas. Let me give you this little tidbit. I looked at women's feet
That remind me of Boomerang.
Yeah.
No hammer times and
Yeah, there you go. It's within that same vein. But my revelation was a little bit different. I'm thinking to myself, okay, if a woman takes care of her feet, in my personal opinion, your feet are the easiest part of your body to ignore. So if a woman takes care of her feet, that means that she pays attention to detail. That means that there's other areas in her life that are, pretty solid. You know what I mean? And so, it to me, it spoke to the woman's, personality and whatever else. So yes, I'm not sucking toes. You know what I'm saying? That's not a thing that I necessarily do. I'm not saying I'm not saying I haven't done it. You know what I mean? The things is clean. You know what I mean? They're pretty. I might. That's probably way too far. But anyway, what was I saying? I was
the thought of it made him lose track.
It did. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So 9 times out of 10, when people decide to cheat, when people decide to do something that they wouldn't normally do, it's because the person offers something to them that they're not normally exposed to. And so I was talking about the fact that I am a sucker for heels, right? And so my wife, on the other hand, doesn't really like wearing heels that often. Now, she'll wear them for me. Like if we're going out, and it's my birthday or, anniversary, she'll put them on. But that's not what she normally does. And so for me, like, I understand that, that's one of my things. It's one of the things that I like. But at this moment, currently right now in my life, I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm not willing to risk all this that I've built with my wife. It's been 7 years. We're about to be 7 years in August. So really longer than that, but 7 years married in August. I'm not willing to risk all of this that I've built with my wife off of something that, that I like, that is not, important. Because at the end of the day, I can honestly say my wife wearing heels hasn't contributed to me becoming a better person. Is it something I like? Yeah, I love it. I don't know why, I just do. I just do. But her wearing heels hasn't made Damon a better version of Damon. What has made Damon a better version of Damon is, all the other things that she brings to the table. So I just want to say to all those men, women alike who are considering stepping into a situation, that could possibly be detrimental to your marriage or your relationship, just weigh it out, man. And for me, it's like me enjoying myself for a moment isn't, worth destroying what I've made with my wife. Thus far. So that's all I got to say, man. We definitely moved to a new location. Some things definitely changed for the better, I might add. I feel like I'm in a better space. Rome, would you like to?
Let's hear it, champ.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Do
Greg.
not know what they're implying. No, if you're an avid, culturally correct listener, you have noticed the last 2 episodes have been a little different.
Oh, are we going there?
You opened it up.
I didn't open it up.
If you open it, don't walk do it.
I'm in a better place. It's changed. I feel better. So some things has happened. Kamo and Sincere, they have decided to move on to other endeavors. We appreciate everything they did. We miss our brothers. Yeah. We wish them the best.
We love them.
It's no hard feelings.
And if you need anything, I got you.
So we just wanted to say, hey, we hope to have them back as guests.
Facts.
No love lost or anything like that. We understand that people have everything going on in their lives, and sometimes commitments are harder. So we wish them the best in their endeavors. Shout out to them. We miss you, brothers. But so it's just Jerome or Rome and Dane. Guess it sounds like Jimmy will be here time to time when he can make it.
Yeah.
So we're in a space, different locations, different things.
The basement.
So this doesn't stop anything. The Culturally Correct All Black Affair is still April 27th.
Yeah.
Hope to see you there. Tickets still on sale, $15 a piece. Cash bar, food included.
Facto.
I think it might be 60%. We have slowed down on these ticket sales. Hey, but we're about 3 weeks out now. So
Yeah.
I think they what is it? What did they say in Janky Promoters? We're at the door, sales town.
It makes sense, man. Listen, man, it's gonna be an amazing situation. I cannot wait to be a part of it. It's gonna be dope. So, this is Culturally Correct, man. We'd like to thank Jimmy for coming out, man.
Man, thank you guys for having me, man. I always love to stop by, man, and be a part of this. This is a great thing.
We love to have you, man.
Really?
Nah, we do. I mean, you give us a different perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you were really thirsty for the side piece
Angle.
You know what I mean? You were like mad thirsty for this. So that's great. It's a great angle. That's not an angle that I'm ever interested in. But you are, and there might be people who
Judge
are,
me.
you know?
Judge me.
I'm not judging you.
I just say embrace the Cougars. Don't count them out.
It's the Cougars and the Cooter. Anyways, I'm sorry. I should have been doing that. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Culturally Correct podcast. Like, subscribe. I dang near feel like your mama should be listening to this podcast like often. You feel me? This is your boy Dame.
Jimmy.
And Rome.
We're gonna holler at you. Peace.